Good morning, beautiful people. Welcome. It's another day, Thursday. And remember, Upper Nisho in it will rise today, and we are all about the throwback edition. So if you want good music from way back in the day, if you want interesting topics that involved things that happened way back, this is the place to be. My name is Jesse Rogers, and I'll be taking you through the throwback edition on Rise Today, exclusively on KUTV. Well, I hope you've had a good morning. I hope you're energized, you're victimized, if I may use that. Well, anyway, today we're talking about the freedoms we have all got since independence. And it says, since we got independence, what freedoms do you enjoy as an individual or as a Kenyan? Be it freedom of expression. If you're either of opposition, among himself, Jubilee, you can go to any rally. You can go to IEBC and protest and fight for your rights. You get, that's the things we're talking about. If it's education, way back in the day before independence, education was limited. Like, not everyone had the chance to go to school. You tell us about it, okay? Since we got independence, what freedoms have you enjoyed as a Kenyan? Interact with us via our social media pages. You can find us on Twitter, _KUTV, on Facebook, KUTV, and most importantly, you can SMS me directly via the SMS line 22766. So remember, since you got independence, what freedoms have you enjoyed as an individual or as a Kenyan? It can be anything. Anyway, right now we look at the news recap of the day and on to the main story. President Uhuru Kenyatta yesterday led the country in celebrating the 53rd Madaraka Day in Afraha Stadium, Nakuru County. In attendance were Deputy President William Ruto and several other dignitaries. Issues of interest such as devolution, development project security, and the opposition party Code Coalition's dispute with the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission were addressed. This is as Kenyans were also urged to respect the Constitution as they promote peace and unity.
For the first time in Kenyan history, the country observed her Madaraka Day outside her capital, Nairobi. This time round, President Uhuru Kenyatta leading the nation in celebrations at Afraha Stadium in Nakuru. While addressing thousands who had turned up for the celebrations, the president touched on matters of governance, development, and security.
As your president, I believe in Kenya's young people. I see you as my partners in remaking this nation. If men and women of your age could 53 years ago conceive and build Kenya, then we must be open to your energy and hope.
Uhuru was quick to point out that the government is in a rush to deliver on its manifesto, mentioning the robust infrastructural development his government has embarked on, including the 1,200-kilometer road to be constructed within the next financial year.
When I took office, I promised the children in Standard 1 would learn using the latest digital technology. Recently, we did the trial runs, and I can announce today that that promise will be fulfilled, and by August of this year, we will have over 600,000 people using tablets and laptops to learn, while another 600,000 will follow by December.
The president and his deputy lauded the impact of devolution, commending it for the amount of work the government has been able to do, including rural power connectivity, health services, amongst others. The presidency revisited the refugee repatriation saga, saying it was a difficult decision, but the government will not retreat on repatriation call. On matters politics, the president urged the country to be wary of divisive politics, saying no one was above the law, and that every Kenyan has a mandate to protect the Constitution.
Tuombe viongozi wote, tujadiliane, tuheshimiane, tufuate sheria ambazo ziko, na Kenya itafaulu, na Kenya itakuwa nchi ya kuheshimika, wananchi wa kuheshimika, nchi ambaye itaweza kukuza uchumi wake na kuboresha maisha ya wananchi wetu wote.
The president was alluding to recent court IEBC onslaughts that had created political tension across the country, with the deputy president telling the opposition to cease its weekly demos against the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission.
You have a problem with the judiciary. You have a problem with parliament. What are your credentials insofar as the rule of law and constitutionalism is concerned? What then do you believe in? I think these are the hard questions that we must ask ourselves as a nation.
The court fraternity had been invited to Afraha Stadium by the president, but failed to show up as they were held in a parallel rally of its own at Uhuru Park. The government has called for unity amongst Kenyans and promised to celebrate 2 out of the 3 national holidays outside Nairobi, in line with which Mashujaa Day on October 20th will be celebrated in Machakos County. Amanda Moniki, KUTV.
Well, it's quite true. No individual is bigger than our country, Kenya, so we should all shun from divisive politics. Now, the opposition coalition held a parallel Madaraka Day rally at Uhuru Park, Nairobi. Now, let's take a look at what was going on at Madaraka Day at Uhuru Park today.
Close to 24 hours after the president and the chief opposition leader Raila Odinga took their first steps to break the IEBC impasse, the CORD leader Raila Odinga and Moses Wetangula have asserted that on Thursday they will name their representative who are expected to join their counterparts from the government side to start talks on the IEBC standoff.
in the center of things in East Africa. Kenya was a leader, Kenya is a leader, and Kenya will be a leader in the region.
On a separate event, the President Uhuru Kenyatta and his deputy accused the opposition of attempting to use shortcut and not the constitution in removing IEBC commissioners. The two CORD principals have said they will not settle for a parliamentary process in seeking the solution to the IEBC impasse.
Tafadhalini tuheshimiane na tufuate ile sheria ambaye imewekwa, kwa sababu ikiwa mimi nikikasirika ati mimi niende nifanye yangu, wewe ule mwingine, na sheria bado iko. Jameni,
I want to ask our friends, the same court decided that they cannot continue with demonstrations in the country. We expect them, therefore, to respect the same court that gave them the permission to hold their rally today, that has told them they cannot continue to torment the country with demonstrations every Monday.
Bungoma Senator Moses Wetangula said CORD's desire for talk is the result of patriotism and not weakness. Wetangula said they will not allow someone to sit somewhere and decide who commissioners will be.
Nataka kuambia Wakenya, hakuna court order yoyote ya kutuzuia kwenda pale.
Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka, who addressed the crowd by phone from China, said Kenyans will not accept an election that is not free and fair. Many had hoped that the Tuesday State House meeting between Raila Odinga and Wetangula, and President Kenyatta and his deputy William Ruto will bring to an end the IEBC standoff.
Ndio sababu tumesema hii shirika ambayo inaitwa IEBC Iliambia unaisha kaza aende nyumbani mapema. Haya IEBC. Bado haijasikika IEBC.
Though the two leading political outfits are set to have dialogues before court's deadline on Sunday, only time will tell if IEBC standoff will finally come to an end. Police fired tear gas to disperse opposition supporters at the end of a rally, and it was not immediately clear what prompted the action, as the rally had been approved. Irene Mwangi, KUTV.
Well, that's what happened yesterday at Uhuru Park during the CORD rally. Now, the Coalition for Reforms and Democracy CORD supporters yesterday held a parallel rally at Uhuru Park peacefully despite the huge police presence. The supporters, who started arriving at the venue for the opposition's planned meeting as early as 8 a.m., chanted pro-CORD slogans and carried banners and placards with messages showing their support for their leader Raila Odinga, Kalonzo Musyoka and Moses Wetangula.
Raila Odinga led other opposition leaders in celebrating 53rd Madaraka Day in a political rally at Uhuru Park, Nairobi. Thousands of people thronged the park as early as 8 a.m. to be part of the CORD rally. The images from Uhuru Park are a testament to who is the boss in these shows. Hundreds of police were deployed to provide security at the grounds. The highly anticipated event kicked at around 2 p.m. after CORD leader Raila Odinga arrived at the grounds. Security remained heightened at the location in a wake of violent protest by the opposition for the IEBC to be disbanded. On Tuesday, the High Court allowed the opposition to hold the fete at the park but warned against violation of people's rights and incitement to violence. Anne Macharia, KUTV.
The country marked her 53rd Madaraka Day celebration, and as usual, all counties marked the day in different ways, led by governors and county commissioners. However, the day witnessed interruption, war of words and boycotts. Caroline Ngango brings us Madaraka Day events from the counties.
3 parallel Madaraka Day celebrations were today held in different parts of Sowin Sigowet sub-county, Kericho County over headquarter dispute. For the first time, the celebrations were held at Chep Kimel Trading Center, which was led by Area Deputy County Commissioner. According to the committee members, which had been constituted to settle the dispute, Chep Kimel was not among the areas which had been considered, which included Kapsorok, Sigowet and Kipsitet. In Garissa, the government will investigate and prosecute those behind stone throwing at Garissa's governor's entourage in Balambala sub-county last week, Area County Commissioner James Kianda has said. Kianda was reacting to demands that the national government investigate the incident when he toured the area to commission development projects in the area. Kianda was addressing Wananchi at Garissa Primary School playgrounds today during Madaraka Day.
Wacha tufanye siasa ya usalama. Na hivi sasa, this is not time for politics. Mimi ningependa hakika kidogo tucheleweshe harakati ya siasa.
Lile jambo ambalo limetajwa lilifanyika upande wa Malambala. Sisi kama serikali, sisi kama kamati ya usalama ya kaunti hatukubaliani na mambo kama haya.
In Narok County, Commissioner Moffat Kangi has directed that all mining activities be stopped at Loita, bordering Kenya and Tanzania. Kangi categorically stated that all minerals belonged to the state and no one is authorized to conduct transactions without a permit. Speaking at Masai Mara University grounds during Madaraka Day celebrations, Kangi said those who wished to trade in minerals should obtain a permit and have legal documents before transacting internationally. Narok Deputy Governor Evelyn Arwasa maintained that there was room for dialogue, adding that CORD should stop taking matters to the streets.
kwamba rasilimali zetu za Kenya zinatakikana zifaidi wa Kenya. Hakuna mtu ambaye ana ruhusa ya kutoa rasilimali Kenya kupeleka nchi nyingine bila kufuata taratibu za kisheria.
The respect for the Constitution of Kenya is not a choice. It is a must for every citizen in this country to respect the Constitution, because we all know what will happen if we don't respect the Constitution.
Madaraka Day celebrations in Kisii County were rudely interrupted after a bus rolled at a bridge in Kisii town and injured 36 passengers, 5 of them critically. Hundreds of the residents left in a huff from the stadium to assist in rescue operations on learning about the road accident from the blaring sirens of the recently acquired county government ambulances. An eyewitness, Wilfred Monyenye, said the ill-fated bus bound from Homa Bay left Nairobi at 11 p.m., experiencing alleged mechanical defects on the way until it overturned at Daramoja Kila Bridge along the Kisii-Keroka Highway.
Hii basi ilianza kutoka Nairobi saa 5 ya usiku. Hiyo basi ilikuwa na matatizo njiani mpaka ikafika hapa daraja moja ndiye ikaanguka. Kwa hivyo vile tumeona hii daraja moja imetuletea shida sana kama county.
Karonganga, KUTV.
Well, that's quite unfortunate. May those who are injured get well soon. Now, 1st June every year since 1963, Kenya as a country commemorates the day she attained self-rule from the British government, preceding full independence on 12 December 1963. This saw her join other countries like Singapore, the then British colony, to also gain independence in 1963. But how exactly are these countries different from each other 53 years down the line? Our reporter Simon Minor has compiled the following story.
Kenya and Singapore have a common history as they were both declared independent from Britain in the year 1963. Today, there is a gaping difference between the two countries. The Southeast Asian island city-state was faced with a rapidly growing, poor and uneducated population living in slums. With precarious markets, small land, water scarcity and few natural resources, it struggled along until 1965 when it became an independent nation from Malaysia with Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew in control. The Prime Minister endorsed a free market state attracting prominent multinational corporations. 2 decades later, Singapore's economy grew by 800%. The average income per person appreciated more than fourfold, while families living under poverty dropped to about 0.3%. Singaporeans' average life expectancy hit 71 years, with practically everyone having a job and a home. To produce these economic miracles, the father of Singapore controlled population growth through the setting up of free family planning clinics. This was followed by an intense campaign dubbed Plan Your Family Small. Inhibitive strategies such as a shorter maternity leave, higher hospital charges, and less income tax relief were also implemented to discourage women from having more children. Women who agreed to be sterilized after their second child were rewarded $5,000, which is about 420,000 shillings. Given priority for public housing, and their children got into good schools. To date, Singaporeans think that 2 is the right number of children. All workers were required to save a minimum of 25% of their salaries. They would claim the money only after the age of 55. The money would go into a central provident fund, which the government would use to build roads, schools, hospitals, and housing. There is no corruption in this country. The Corruption Perceptions Index lists Singapore as one of the least corrupt states in the world, along with New Zealand, Denmark, Norway, and Sweden. It is the 14th largest exporter and the 15th largest importer in the world. Transparency International Report 2016 ranked Kenya among the most corrupt countries in the world at position 139 out of 168 countries. As Kenya marks her 53rd anniversary of self-rule, the question remains, are we in progress or in regress? Simon Minor, KUTV.
Well, what's captured me about that piece is that Singapore has zero corruption. Well, compared to Kenya, Can't even talk about it. Now, President Uhuru Kenyatta has announced that the government will waive duty on dates during the holy month of Ramadan. The president said duty on dates during the month of June and July 2016 will be waived to help the Muslim community fulfill their religious obligations. The president sent a message of goodwill and best wishes to Kenyan Muslims as they prepare to observe the holy month of Ramadan. He directed the State Department for Special Programs to ensure that vulnerable families are supported with the foods they will require during the Ramadan period.
It's significant because of what the governor said.
Margaret Kenyatta. The month of Ramadan is about to start, and as our Muslim brothers and sisters prepare to observe this holy month of fasting and purification, I take this opportunity to send them my best wishes. As a government, we have decided to waive duty on dates for the month of June and July of 2016 to help our Muslim brothers and sisters fulfill their religious obligations.
Well, that is quite considerable from the president. Now, occasionally during Madaraka Day, people gather in different places to celebrate this historical day, but with little concerns on orphans who starve with little or no food. Yesterday, the Light of Hope showered the faces of student orphans of Pillars of Hope, our children's home in Kopir ward in Kajiado East constituency after they were visited by Joyce Kanchori, the mother to area MCA Daniel Kanchori, among other visitors of charity who gave them food and drinks among other goodies. Our reporter Irene Mwangi with more.
During Madaraka Day celebration at Pillars of Hope Children's Home in Nun Kopir Ward in Kajiado East constituency, the Light of Hope descended on the orphans after they were visited by Joyce Kanchori, a mother to the area MCA Daniel Kanchori, who gave them food, drinks and financial support.
Mungu amekuwa mwaminifu kabisa katika maisha yangu. Nimekuja na chakula na nikakuja na pesa kidogo ambayo watalipa ile kitu wanahitaji kulipa ambayo haijalipwa. Sikia wako na deni ya maji, itaanza kulipa toa 10,000 ambaye kusaidia watoto.
Additionally, Mama Joyce Kanchori gave out 10,000 Kenya shillings to help the orphanage home offset the electricity bill that has escalated. The director and the founder of this home, Moses Muchika, narrates about the progress and in service of the charity to the society.
Mwenye haya maono, niko na watoto ambao nalea hapa, mayatima na wala ambao wametoka kwa street. So ninashukuru Mungu kwa sababu amenipatia mzigo huu kuanzia mwaka 2013 mpaka sasa hivi nimekuwa nikifanya kazi hii.
Some of the teachers who offer their services here have improperly called the support of every person to help these orphans realize their future.
Za shule na umeona bado umefanya college na uchaenda mahali na umesomea walimu, kuja usaidia watoto wapate kila ambacho wanataka kupata, na kupitia pale utapata kitu kikubwa sana ambacho Mungu amekuahidi.
Student orphans did not hide their expression of happiness and appreciation for the good care they get here. To this great care and services to orphans, we say bravo to all who show concern and call upon every person to help the orphans.
Well, that is a really, really good move by the mother of the area MCA. Now we look at the sports. Vicente Del Bosque had to leave Juan Mata, Diego Costa and Santi Cazorla out of his squad. Roy Hodgson has confirmed teenage striker Marcus Rashford as a surprise inclusion. England face Portugal at Wembley today in their final friendly.
Maar dat zit dus niet in.
The final names of the players will be participating in the Euro 2016 was confirmed yesterday evening by various teams across the world as the UEFA deadline closed yesterday evening. Roy Hodgson named his final 23-man squad in what is the youngest ever England collection of players to the European Championship. Teenager Marcus Rashford was both selection, but Daniel Sturridge completed the group of 5 strikers despite the fitness concerns, leaving Danny Drinkwater as well as Andros Townsend and the injured Fabio Dave out of the squad. England will face Portugal on 2nd at the Wembley Stadium in a friendly match ahead of the opening kicker match with Russia at the Marseilles at the Euro 2016. The Euro 2016 begins in Paris on Friday 10th June. The big teams led by England as well as Germany and Italy, with the host France, have all qualified. As the Premier League and other domestic competition wrap up for another season, the countdown to the proper Euro 2016 begins. Austria will be counting on Marco Janko of Basel FC. The forwards for the Belgium squad include Christian Benteke of Liverpool as well as Chelsea's Eden Hazard. Meanwhile, Croatia will be counting on the services of Mario Mandzukic of Juventus as well as Andrej Kramaric of Leicester City. Czech Republic will be boasting of goalkeeper.
Well, thank you so much, Kome Kazungu. I want to go on here saying I fully support 3 teams. I don't want to choose one in case the other one loses. So Belgium, Germany, and England. Watch out for those teams during the Euro 2016. If I can bet, I surely will and win the jackpot. Well, anyway, today's topic is all about the freedoms you enjoyed since we as a country, Kenya, got independence. What freedoms have you enjoyed since Kenya got independence? Be it education. You can go to any school in the country. Yoyote, no segregation based on racism, based on color, based on where you come from. Akuna yoyote. You get. You can also movement, freedom of movement. You can go anywhere you want. There's no whites only club or whites only school. Akuna kitukayo. Those are some of the things I personally enjoy as a Kenyan citizen. Now I want you to tell me what you personally enjoy as a Kenyan citizen via the SMS line 22766. 22766. You can also join us on our social media. That is Twitter _KUTV and Facebook KUTV. Right now we look at the traffic updates in Kenya. Now, Thika Road is moving slowly from GSU headquarters heading to town. That is a warning to all guys who are using Thika Road. Langata Road is a parking lot from Uhuru Gardens. I want to say Mahatusongi Hata. Well, that's dangerous. Well, Thika Road jam starts from Garden City. It looks like a mob day morning. Okay. School Lane towards Sarit and Wayaki Way towards Westlands roundabout is packed. Hey, hakuna njia aina traffic today. Thika Road is at a standstill at Muthaiga. It's crazier than a Monday morning. That's what one of the drivers is saying. Now, Anombo Saidizi. They're asking traffic police to actually help them because I'm pretty sure their bosses are already at work. Now, Jafika Bado. Trouble. Well, nitakutetea onea, don't worry. Jogoo Road is at a snail pace. That is Jam Kuruka. And then wanasema pia Mombasa Road is on a standstill from Nyayo roundabout about to Eka Hotel. Well, Mombasa Road from Capital Center towards Eka Hotel is moving at the moment. That's quite good. And then kuna mtu mwingine who's saying hapo Jerusalem jam imeanzia junction ya Uhuru na Jerusalem. Okay, crazy. The last one, Uhuru Highway from Laiko Regency towards GPO, Kenyatta Avenue is moving at the moment. So to all those who are stuck in traffic and your boss is already asking for you, this goes out to all the bosses. Please, please, traffic leo ni kubaya sana. Please allow them. Even though mimi nilifika on time, don't worry. Well, that was the roads update today. We'll be back with the international news. Well, we now take a look at the international news and on to the very fast one. It's all about the 17-year-old gorilla that was killed. It was called Harambe. Now, the parents of the small kid who dropped into the area where the... Oh my God, is it coming?
There's the zoo worker.
Well, that is what happened before the gorilla was shot dead to actually save the boy. Now, the parents have come under heavy criticism for that. Well, moving on, Brazil legend Pele's items will be auctioned in London from June 7th to 9th. His one-of-a-kind Jules Rimet replica trophy is going to be sold. He's also selling one of his iconic Brazil number 10 shots at the auction. Also up for sale are his 3 World Cup medals. Nobody has ever won more. Now we take a look at some of the things that are being auctioned. The very first thing is one of replica of the original World Cup, the Jules Rimet trophy made for him after Brazil's famous triumph in Mexico in 1970. Its estimate is £273,000. Now, the second thing that is being sold is Pele's World Cup medals from his victories in 1958, 1962 and 1970 respectively. The estimated price is £68,000 to £137. The third thing, the ball with which Pele scored his 1,000th goal. Wow. The estimated price is £27,000 to £41,000. The next thing, Pele's 1977 New York Cosmos National Championship ring. The estimate price is around £27,000. The next thing is his El Quipe Athlete of the Century award. The price, you can guess, £21,000. That's a lot of money. The pair of black boots worn by Pele in the 1981 war film Escape to Victory, in which he starred alongside Sylvester Stallone and Bobby Moore. The estimate price is £5,500. The next thing is the Pele World Sports Award of the Century medal and certificate presented to him in Austria in 1999. The other thing being sold is a Brazil shirt presented to Pele in 1990 at a game to mark his 50th birthday, signed by team members including Cafu, Leonardo and Donizete. The estimated price is £630. Well, those are some of the things that have been auctioned at the auction, and some of the proceeds will be going towards the charity. Especially, I think he said, Children's Hospital in Brazil. That's really good of him to actually auction things that belong to him so we can actually get a piece of his history. Now, moving on, it's on to the Thailand Tiger Temple. Now, 40 dead tiger cubs have been found in a freezer at a Thai Buddhist temple accused of wildlife trafficking and animal abuse. Police and wildlife officials started an operation on Monday to remove all the living tigers at the Tiger Temple. Pictures from journalists at the scene showed the 40 cubs lined up on the floor. The site in Kanchanaburi is a popular tourist attraction but has been closed to the public since the raid. Wildlife officials would file new criminal charges after the discovery and added that the cubs were just 1 or 2 days old when they died. He said it was not yet clear how long they had been dead for. Tiger bones and body parts are used in traditional medicine in China. Monks at the temple were not available for comment, but they have previously denied trafficking allegations. Dozens of living tigers have already been removed out of 137 at the temple.
จะดันลงมาไงตอนนี้ไม่เจอแป๊บนึงครับเดี๋ยวไปถ่ายข้างนอกครับเดี๋ยวขาตรงรวยยกค้อนครับ
Well, that is quite unfortunate. People actually kill tiger cubs and put them in a freezer. And we're complaining about the Mohawk lion that got killed. Please have mercy for all the wild animals in the world. Now, remember, today we are talking about the freedoms you enjoy as a Kenyan citizen since we got independence. What freedoms do you enjoy since we got independence? Be it education, you have a right to education. You can actually go to whichever school you have the capacity to actually go. You can go to wherever. There's no segregation based on color, no segregation based on tribe, nothing. You get, these are some of the benefits I actually enjoy. You can go to a party. Hawezi fungiwa because you're dark, because you look like this, because of this, that. No, these are some of the benefits we enjoy since we got independence as Kenyan citizens. Now, I want you to tell me what you enjoy via the SMS line 22766, or you can also interact with us on our social media pages. Twitter, that is _KUTV, Facebook, KUTV. Right now, we look at the online vibes of the day. Now, Madaraka Day, nicknames that won Kenya her independence. That is the very first thing we're looking at. Now, Kenya celebrates the 52nd Madaraka Day since the first was marked in 1964, a year after Kenya's independence, which was attained after shedding blood, sweat, and tears. Here are some of the Mau Mau high commanders who led freedom fighters armed with homemade guns and bore homespun nicknames. Now, the very first person we're about to look at is Field Marshal Musa Mwariama. I hope I've said it right. His real name was Mkiribwa Mushir. He was the only Mau Mau top brass who was never captured, surrendered, or killed, and survived unscathed with his 2,000-strong fighters. He was bestowed with the Order of the Elder of Burning Spear after independence and is most remembered for that famous photo with Mzee Jomo Kenyatta. I hope we can get the photo right now. The 61-year-old Murime died after sucking poison from the leg of a friend who had been bitten by a snake in Ukambani in 1989. Well, the photo will be coming through in a few. There he is with the president, first president of the Republic of Kenya, Jomo Kenyatta. Now, General China will be next. That is Warohio Itote, took the General China title in the forest. There he is. We have him right now. He surrendered later on when he was followed by the British later on. There are some of the photos. Now, he surrendered after being cornered by vicious colonial cop Ian Henderson on January 15th, 1954. He was to be hanged, but struck a deal with Henderson to have fellow Mau Mau surrender. But the mission failed, and he was jailed with Mzee Jomo Kenyatta and the Kapinguria 6 at Loki Town prison, where Jomo taught him English. China saved the future president's life after fellow inmate Kariuki Chotara, then a minor on murder charges, attempted to knife Jomo Kenyatta. As Elizabeth Watkins informs us in her 1996 book, Jomo's Jailer, General China headed the National Youth Service after independence. Well, unfortunately, he died of a stroke in 1993. The next person we're taking a look at is General Baimungi Marete. Now, this guy led the Mau Mau after Field Marshal. There is his wife, Dedan Kimathi, was hanged in 1957. The Jomo Kenyatta government awarded him 10,000 acres in Timau and a Land Rover after surrendering in 1963. He was permitted to fly the national flag on his car and homestayed. That's quite good. The government failed to honor its promises, and General Baimungi, who demanded to be made general in the Kenyan army, well, he returned to the bush. He was killed by government agents at Nkando, Yankoma Forest on January 26, 1965. Apparently, his body disappeared. Now, the next person we take a look at is General Stanley Mathenge. The photo will be coming up in a few. I think there he is. He headed a faction of the Mau Mau and left for Ethiopia. No, that is there he is. He was alleged. That photo came back in 2000 when Kibaki was in power. They actually brought him from Ethiopia. He had left for Ethiopia in search of arms in 1955, but he never returned. The Kibaki administration mistook him for the Ethiopian farmer Ato Lemu Ayanu in 2003. They actually brought him to the country, and it was a very big event. It was recorded on media all over the world. There he is. He was brought back by the Kibaki government, believing that he was the alleged Mathenge, but it wasn't him. He was just a farmer from Ethiopia. Now, those are some of the heroes we are celebrating today. Now, we move on to the hilarious Mugabe quotes. They have been on social media for a long time. Okay, now for a long time, even as the Western world and media criticized Zimbabwe's President Robert Mugabe, he remained a hero to many Zimbabweans and Africans. But recently, and on many occasions, internet jokers have attributed some quotes to Mugabe. They are not only malicious, inciting, mischievous, and silly, but also rightly hilarious. They're an odd choice of words and crazy comparisons that always leaves many in stitches. The off-the-wall quotable quotes linger in the mind for long. Here are the many hilarious quotes that have been attributed to the octogenarian. Sample the following. There we can see in Africa, the only warning they take seriously is the low battery. Is that true? You tell me. I don't know. We had some which will be coming up in a few. There, a sarcastic quote by Robert Mugabe. It's not really him, but people pretend it's him. They say racism will never end. As long as white cars are still using black tires, if people still use black, they'll bring that photo back. Well, he was talking about racism, and he was saying that racism will never end. Well, okay, it's back. In Africa, the only warning they take seriously is a low battery. There we have it. I hope they pose it right there. If people still use black to symbolize bad luck and white for peace, if people still wear white clothes at weddings and black clothes at funerals. And then the quote ended by him saying he doesn't care about all that, but I don't care as long as I'm still using the white toilet paper to wipe something. That only I will always be very fine. Well, he's fine as long as he uses white tissue paper to actually help the process of... You get what I'm saying, right? I hope you really get what I'm saying. Now we're moving on. I don't know if we have any more sarcastic quotes by Robert Mugabe. Well, we move on to Jamie Vardy lookalike. Okay, we all know Jamie Vardy, and he is a Leicester City player. Now, there's a postman turned Jamie Vardy lookalike, and he has been blocked by the star on social media and warned he could face legal action if he damages the striker's image. Now, the lifelong fan, he's called Lee Chapman, and he's 29. He found himself in the spotlight thanks to his uncanny resemblance. Take a look to the Foxes starman, and was even invited on the team bus as they celebrated their historic Premier League win. Mr. Chapman has taken time off work to cash in on a professional lookalike, but now relations between him and his idol appear to have turned sour after he was reportedly blocked by both Vardy, who's 29, and his wife Rebecca Nicholson, 34, on Twitter and Instagram. Jamie Vardy has blocked his postman lookalike from contacting him on social media. Now, there are the photos. Please tell me, who is the real Vardy? Who is the real Vardy? Can you tell? I don't know if he's the one on the left or on the right. On the left or on the right, I don't know. Wow. If I had a lookalike like that and I used to play football, I'd sell my lookalike to a team like Arsenal and make sure they lose miserably because I'm a Manchester United fan. Now that is me being malicious. Now that is what was going on the online vibes today. We've looked at Robert Mugabe, those quotes he usually said about racism, all that. We have also looked at Jamie Vardy lookalike. Do you have a lookalike? Well, we'd like to know. I hope I also have a lookalike somewhere. Well, right now we take a very short music break, but remember it's the throwback edition. And the show is called Rise Today, the morning show exclusively on KUTV. Right about now, we are joined in studio by the lady in a yellow dress, looking really good.
You had to go there.
I had to go there. You're dressed in yellow. Me, I was trying to be all vintage.
Yeah, I was going to ask Jesse, what's up with your outfit today? Like,
I'm trying to go back in time.
You woke up in the morning and thought this is the best thing you could wear to go on TV.
Maggie Njuki. Now, she is very good at asking questions. That's why she's hosting the Spotlight 2017.
Yeah, but I see you're getting a hold on this throwback thing.
Yeah.
You're getting in tune with Hello Children.
I used to read that book.
Really?
For real?
I doubt that.
No, I'm not that
No,
young.
I know that.
Looks are deceiving.
You know what I had? That Mr. Kamau.
Yeah.
You remember him?
Yes.
He's a bus driver now at Alliance Girls High School.
Oh, yeah. I heard he prayed to God for many ladies.
You know that story.
I know that story.
Yeah, that's
well,
what he's
rumor has it Mr. Kamau prayed to God for many ladies, a big car. Okay, so be careful for what you pray for.
So now he drives a bigger bus than the blue one.
Okay.
In Hello Children. And then he's surrounded by many girls from Alliance Girls High School.
Well, I hope Alliance girls don't sue us. Poleni.
Well, so how's been your week?
My week has been okay. Excited that this day is finally here.
Excited. The day before Friday, you know.
I tell you. Throwback Thursday, especially. And our topic today is, since independence, what freedoms do you actually enjoy? Tell us.
Like we can communicate here, me and you, freely, with no boundaries, freedom of movement, you know. There's a lot I can say, but I don't know whether you could relate. Just you're young. Sometimes I feel...
Are you trying to say you're old?
No, I'm not old. But I feel kind of old seated next to you, you know?
Well, don't worry. It happens. When I look this young.
Yeah.
Pole. Don't worry. Keep up.
So it's towards the end of the week. As usual, I'm here for Spotlight 2017.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to take it away now. In our continuing series of Spotlight 2017 this morning, we focus on a crop of leaders that many would love to disapprove of. They are the members of the County Assembly, better known as MCAs. A few days ago in Nyeri County, the supremacy battle between Nyeri Governor Nderitu Gachagua and members of the County Assembly went physical, with a group of men whipping and driving away more than 25 ward representatives at an official function. The incident just went to show the animosity between most MCAs and governors in several counties, mostly revolving around the use of funds. Also, the mention of MCAs before is most often than not associated with fights in respective county assemblies, begging the question, how necessary are these elective positions and what really is the function of the MCAs? It is against this backdrop that today we will focus on this particular elective position going forward. Now, this here is Spotlight 2017, and my name is Maggie Njuki. Now, welcome back. As I mentioned earlier, this is Spotlight 2017, and today we are looking at a rather interesting crop of leaders, the MCAs, or rather better known as members of county assemblies. And you can interact with us. Our SMS number is 22766. Our Twitter handle is @KUTV. Our Facebook page is Kenyatta University Television. Now, with me in studio, I'm joined by an ICT professional who is vying for the Kahawa Wendani parliamentary... Oh, sorry about that. Member of County Assembly seat come 2017. He will help me shed more light on the seat, which has been backed by controversy. Welcome on set, Mr. Mugambi.
Okay, thank you very much, Maggie.
Yes.
And I want to take this chance even to invite me for an interview with you here in the studio.
Yeah, last week we were still in Roysambu constituency, which is where the ward you're vying for come 2017 is located. So I'd want to give you this opportunity to introduce yourself officially and tell us what your ambitions and aspirations are for the 2017 and the seat you're vying for.
Okay, Maggie, let me say that Kawendani lies in Kiambu County, not in Roysambu, as you have said. Okay. And I want to say that to the resident of Kawendani ward that I have a vision for that ward because I've seen a lot of bad leadership that has been continuing. And it is high time for the residents of Kawendani to wake up, because when you look at Kawendani...
If I could take you back a bit, introduce yourself to our audience. Tell us how your life has been up to now.
Okay.
I'm not sure they've had your both names. I just mentioned briefly.
Okay, let me say, Maggie, that for my introduction, I'm Martin Mugambi, although I'm commonly known as Mato in Kawendani. And I've been there for over 20 years as a resident, and I've lived with those guys for quite a long time, because that's the area that I know it's like a home to me, because that's why I've been living to. Yes, okay.
As I mentioned earlier, this particular elective position, the member of county assemblies, has been dogged by controversy. Anytime an MCA is mentioned, we always attribute that MCA to violence or fights that we've witnessed in these county assemblies. But just recently, the election amendment bill was passed, where now it will be required for anyone vying for that position to be a holder of a degree. Do you think that maybe would change the way things are conducted in the county assemblies?
I think that bill was a nice bill for me, because I think if you look at the previous elections that have been made, is that most of the people who are elected, especially the MCAs, they lacked that leadership and the education, that which I think it is a core thing that you need to have for any development to take place, or for maybe to make decision in a ward or any part of a position that you may hold as a leader. So for me, I think for MCA to hold a degree, it's quite of goodwill for any other member who would want to have a position. We need to entertain that the ability to lead people in terms of having the knowledge and the ideas, and even the managerial ideas that you can be able to implement in order to make things work, maybe in a ward. Because I think when you are ruled by someone who is not educated, like what we have experienced of late, is that you find a lot of things going out of order. And that's why we had another incident where my MCAs were even got emotional, and then they were able to even confront each other. I think that energy should reserve for better things to do, because I know that even if you are energetic, I think even myself, I think I have that energy, but my energy is not channeled to do such things. I think that's what people should.
What in your view do you think is the root cause of all this energy we are witnessing with the members of county assemblies?
I think if you look at if you take a close of, if you review what happened in the previous elections, you come to know that that excitement that came out of the voting, the election that was done, that's what brought a lot of challenges in terms of people electing leaders who are not able, who have no capacity. And I think this is a time now people should wake up, come 2017, so that you are able to elect leaders who have that qualities of leadership. I think that's what the condition that we lack as leaders for now.
Yeah, but still on that degree, seeing that this elective position mostly has the young members of the society vying for it, some may be still in school, don't you think it will be limiting for some of them who have not yet maybe completed their degrees? Some are still in school, some are aspiring to go to school. Don't you think maybe to limit some of them?
I think again, when you want, there's what we call patient in everything. I think those people who are maybe pursuing their education, they should also take that chance to maybe wind up their education. Then when that time comes for maybe to seek for a position, maybe in leadership, then they should come out and maybe fight for that. But for now, I don't think it's valid for them. I think it should also give, because we have other leaders who are already out there, who have already finished their education, maybe their degrees, and I think there's time for everything. So let them just be patient and wait for that time.
Seeing that most of this animosity that we are seeing between the MCAs and governors in several counties is being brought about by the allocation of funds, or maybe misappropriation of funds, and the allocation of these wards to specific wards, seeing that some of the duties of the MCAs is to approve budgets. Do you think it's within their rights to challenge their respective governors? Is it within their rights?
I think again, when you look at the structures that have been put up in county government, the MCAs, I think they have a say, because these are the people who normally live with the people at the grassroots level. So I think for MCAs maybe to make some decision on finances, they know much, even the issues that are maybe touching the people who are living with them, and it is, to my best of my knowledge, that it is always good for MCAs to manage some of maybe the funds like the CDF. Although we have experienced a lot of misappropriation of these funds, we have seen, like in Dani, people have complained because we have cases where that CDF or bursary funds are supposed to go to the needy cases. That money does not go to them. It goes to specific groups, maybe the friends of the MCAs or the friends of the other leaders who are within the county, which I think to me, these are what I'm going to streamline. If all goes well, even God helps me to come 2017. These are some of the things that we need to put in place. And also we need also accountability. In leadership, I think what we lack, especially the current regimes, especially in Kiambu County. If you look at Kiambu County, most of the things have not been put up in the right way. This is because of lack of accountability. There's no integrity. I think in Chapter 6 of the Constitution, that's where now we need to come up and maybe read about the Chapter 6 of that, then you come up with the leaders who are able to lead people for such things to work out in any leadership.
Seeing that you're now sitting on the other side of the fence, you've not yet been elected yet, so you're still on the other side of the fence, which is much easier for you to identify problems. This and this has not been done by the current sitting MC or leaders. What do you think you will do differently once you're in that seat, seeing that now you're on the other side, but God willing, as you said, if you are elected, what different will you do that the leaders now who are sitting have not done?
Maggie, you can agree with me that there's a lot of corruption that's going on, not only in the county government. However, there's a lot of mishandling of money. And for me, I think the vision that I have for the Kawendani people is that I have a vision for them. Because, like, for example, if you look at Kawendani, if you look at the CDF, because I've been following up on those issues that have been donated to the people, the bursaries that have been issued there, people are not getting directly. Even the form, the application form, they don't get that, which is wrong for the people of Kawendani. And again, we have another challenge. We have a ground that is supposed to be public. That ground was funded. We have that information. But again, we find that the contractor was given that job to do. Up to date, it has never done anything to that field. So I think I think that's very disappointing to the people.
The question is, what will you do that?
I'm coming to that point, Maggie.
Yes.
I think I want to highlight on the problem that we experience so that I can give the solution. And I want to say that out of those misappropriation of the money, for me, what I will do as MC come 2017, God willing, I'm going to ensure that there's accountability of money. It goes to the needy people, where the Kwan goes are supposed to get that money. Again, if you look at Kawendani, most of its population is made up of youth. These are the people who are mostly challenged. They have no jobs. I think what we do, we have those national funds which are provided, the accessibility of that fund, which are supposed to empower youth in terms of maybe running businesses, even the small businesses. That information, I think it lacks to the youth. For me, what I will do is that I will give that information. I will sensitize people on that and make sure that the youth are able to get that funds. And also, again, if you look at the women who are around who are doing some small businesses, we have also the Women Enterprise Funds. At our constituency level, we have that constituency Women Development Fund scheme, which is supposed to help women. So in general, what I'm saying is that we need to finance or to give financial support to every group so that maybe we can, because in normal circumstances, we cannot employ everyone in the office. What we do is to create that self-employment people so that they can also move on with their lives. I think that's the point.
Having said that, there's a question I posed earlier. How necessary are these elective posts? Saying that the current constitution already has allocated several seats for several members of the society as it is with the new dispensation. The 2/3 gender rule that proposed for more affirmative actions was shot down, unfortunately, which would have been a lot more people than we already have. How necessary do you think these seats are? And is it time maybe we did away with some of them?
I think, again, Maggie, we are guided by the Constitution. I think we shall always work within and with the limits of the Constitution. So I think what Constitution provided, I go for that because also I'm a rule-abiding citizen. So I have no worry about that. Unless something changes out of our Constitution, then we can move to that.
So you don't feel there is need to amend the Constitution in any way as it is now?
I think most of the leaders have complained about the very many counties we have. I think that's where most of our resources, or maybe most of our revenues, go for. And for me, I think we need to streamline and maybe to come up with a few counties And maybe you can, I think the MCAs are more, they attach to the people who are now on the ground. So I think the counties should be, maybe consolidate them, become a few, as people have always objected for, so that we can maybe have that wage bill come down.
Okay. Now, moving away from the functions of the members of county assemblies, yesterday we attained self-rule for the 53rd year. Since we marked 53 years since we attained self-rule. What do you think, or what do you celebrate as the freedoms you enjoy since, as compared to back then? It's a question Jesse has been asking all morning, so I'm posing it to you. What are the freedoms you enjoy since 53 years ago? Maybe you are not born, but now.
I think, Maggie, again, what we enjoy as Kenyans is that we came out with a new constitution. That's the most thing I think that we have, and we have seen the benefit of it, although we have some challenges where I think things should be streamlined or maybe can be amended. That's the thing that we celebrate for, maybe in the current situation that we have today. And maybe other things that Kenya is doing well. So I think we are not as like 80s when we used to be there. So things have changed. So we have a lot to celebrate for, and also we appreciate what is going on, although there are some challenges that we're going through. Yeah.
Which would you care to mention?
I think like what we are experiencing nowadays for the demos that we get every day, maybe on Mondays, that's a challenge to the Kenyans, and I don't think that's the way to go for that. There's always those legal frameworks that are supposed to be followed. So I don't advocate for street demos where we make a lot of distractions. At the end of the day, Kenya loses a lot of money. So I think the dialogue that have been there, for me, I think what they should do, the COND members, they should follow the law, let them go to the parliament, make all the amendments that they want. We cannot just wake up in the morning and say that we want to get rid of maybe, for example, the constitution. I think that's wrong for anyone to come and maybe propose that we need to do this without following the law. Yeah.
Okay. Seeing that we're short of time, I'm going to give you this platform now to have your last word. What is it that you would want the people of Kahawa Wendani to know? This is your platform. Talk to them.
I think, Maggie, I want to speak to the residents of Kahawa Wendani, and I want to tell them that time have come when we need to step out from old. Now we want to go to new. An age is coming where we have to end that. And one thing I believe is that, Maggie, there are two primary choices in life. We either accept the conditions as they exist, or accept a responsibility to change them. I think this is a right time for Kahawa Wendani people to wake up and change the situation that is they are going through. And by doing this is that I urge them, even those who have not registered, we have another chance maybe next year, that is on February, to register in line numbers. And I also want to urge those who want to, even the leaders who want to vie for MCA also, let us have a visionary kind of campaign whereby we need to raise issues that affect the Kahawa Wendani residents. So generally what I'm saying is that I urge all the residents of Kahawa Wendani that you rally behind me, because I have a good vision for the people of Kahawa Wendani. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for your time. Okay. But before we really wind up, we like to reason up here at KUTV Rise Today. So before I let you go, I want to know, which is your favorite throwback jam from way back? Which is your favorite song from way back? On Thursdays, we normally throw back.
Maggie, I think my throwback for what we normally say throwback with Thursday.
Yeah.
I think those are my days when I was in primary. I think when I was I was molested. Mm-hmm. I think those are great days.
Do you have a favorite song from way back that you remember that if you heard it would remind you of back then? Do you have maybe a favorite song?
I don't think I'm really a fan of music, but what I'm saying, there are those 80s songs that I really love most, maybe the soul music.
Yeah.
the Michael Jackson, the entry. Yeah. Those are the great songs that I normally used to listen even today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time.
Okay.
And thank you for gracing these studios for us on Spotlight 2017.
Okay, thank you, Maggie.
As you heard it, he will be vying for the Member of County Assembly in Kahawa Wendani Ward in Kiambu County. Unfortunately, that's the only time we had for you this morning. Jesse Rogers will be coming back to wrap up the show. Leo ameniskuma nje kidogo, but it's okay. We were short of time. Until next Thursday, it's bye-bye from me. God bless.
We'd like to know, Babawino, are you Caesars? Tuamke tukatike. Well, anyway, today was Throwback Thursday edition, and the show is called Rise Today, the morning show, and it's really coming fast. You better watch out. Now, this last part, I'd really like to blow off your minds. We decided to incorporate this last part to actually show the lives of people way back in the day. Now, we decided to start with our very own boss. I hope I will not be fired for this. Please, nikifairiwa mnitete, because I did this for all of you. Now we take a look at, he's called Owen. He is my boss. Now let's take a look at the photos we have from way back. There. Hey. Now that is some of the things we have compiled from way back. He's called Owen and he's my boss. I know he's furious right now. After this, I might be fired, but I love you guys. In case I don't, I'll be back same place, same time next Thursday, and we'll be looking at someone else. You never know. It might be you. Now, to sum up the show, we'll finish by one of his songs. He's actually a musician. Did you know that? Ametoa ngoma. Ebu check, and he had rastas way back in the day. What a shocker. Well, anyway, today was Throwback Edition, and my name is Jesse Rogers. Thank you so much for keeping me company from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Join Anki Doris tomorrow as she takes you through the entertainment world. Okay, so let's take a look at his music as we dance to it. We'll try to. Ebu tuone.
Give me the manual for this woman that you gave me love. What do you love me, girl? What do you hold on, girl? Though many times I make you sad and blue, still I need you, girl. I feel you, girl. Without to show you love, sometimes I got no clue. What do you love me, girl? What do you hold on, girl? Though many times I make you sad and blue, still I need you, girl. I feel you, girl. Without to show you love, sometimes I got no clue. When I saw you, girl, I loved you. Girl, I saw paradise and heaven calling for me. Girl, I knew for sure, felt for sure, you must be the main reason why God created a woman. So beautiful, masterpiece, original work of the Most High God. God, give me the manual for me operate. What do you love me, girl? What do you hold on, girl? Though many times I make you sad and blue, still I need you, girl. I feel you, girl. Without to show you love, sometimes I got no clue. What do you love me, girl? What do you hold on, girl? Though many times I make you sad and blue, still I need you, girl. I feel you, girl. Without to show you love, sometimes I got no clue. Well, woman, you a treasure, but when you time a woman put me under so much pressure. Well, 1 minute make me feel special like a king, but the next minute woman make me feel like I'm nothing. Just when me think me got it all going nice, flying high, rolling right. My woman woman coming down and she's a screaming at me. I said more woman crying harder, she's a yelling at me. What do you love me, girl? What do you hold me, girl? Give me the times I make you sad. Give me the most till I need you, girl. I feel you, girl. If I don't to show you love, sometimes I got no clue. What do you love me, girl? What do you hold on, girl? If I don't many times I make you sad and blue, still I need you, girl. I feel you, girl. If I don't to show you love, sometimes I got no clue. Lord, give me the manual for this woman that you gave me. Lord, give me the manual. We need to operate her. Lord, give me the manual for this woman.